Hello everyone. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of IIT Delhi Alumni Association. My name is Gaurav Goyal, class of 2009, Aravali Hostel, IIT Delhi. I am currently convener of Arogyam Healthcare Initiative of IIT Delhi Alumni Association. IIT Delhi is an institute of eminence as declared by Government of India. IIT Delhi Alumni Association represents 57,000 IIT Delhi alumni globally who have contributed significantly to various social and economic development for the nation. Arogyam, a healthcare and wellness initiative, was started last year by IIT Delhi Alumni Association. Sometimes in corporate world, in our busy schedule, we give less importance to health and overall wellness, and which has long-term ill effects. To bring unique knowledge about healthcare and wellness to our alumni, we are organizing various such events in Arogyam initiative. So far, 3 events have been organized in Arogyam series, and we have received wonderful feedback from our alumni across the globe. In future also, we aspire to invite various healthcare and spiritual leaders from across the world to Arogyam platform. And now, I would like to invite our today's speaker, Acharya Prashant ji. Acharya Prashant is an acclaimed authority on Vedanta, an author of over 80 books, including the bestseller Karma and Ananda, and a powerful voice of socio-spiritual awakening in the today's world. After graduating from IIT Delhi, Acharya Prashant went on to qualify both UPSC and CAT in the same year. After 2 years at IIM Ahmedabad and a few years at corporate, he found himself a higher calling of spreading the ancient wisdom of Vedanta among the masses. And for the same purpose, he founded his mission, which is at the forefront of creating of a new humanity through intelligence spirituality. Today, this movement has touched the life of tens of millions of individuals. Through his direct contact with people and through various books and internet-based channels, he continues to bring clarity to all. So I'll not take much of the time, and I would invite Acharya Prashant ji among all of us. Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me here and for the kind introduction. And I'm really looking forward to this interaction. Thank you so much.
I would like to invite Mr. Pankaj for the first question to Acharya ji.
नमस्कार आचार्य जी, मैं पंकज कपाड़िया, बीटेक 2011 बैच। आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता था कि डू यू बिलीव कैपिटलिज्म is at the core of many problems we face today? If yes, what can individuals do about it? For example, at society level, income inequality has kept on increasing. At economic level, greed drives many business decisions as well as government decisions at times. At individual level, it puts us into a constant race for many more things to achieve in terms of monetary gains. And this is how we take education, housing, travel, healthcare, and they have been very expensive nowadays. So I want your opinion on this, that do you believe that this is the core issue to address and how to go about? Acharya sir.
Thank you for the question, Pankaj. It's not as if human beings are all right within themselves and pure of intention, simple and innocent beings, and then somehow an alien system called capitalism invades them and victimizes them. But that's how somehow a lot of us would like to think, because this line of thought places the blame of our present condition on something alien to us, So we are then happily able to justify being what we are and claim innocence. Where does capitalism come from? If we say capitalism is to be blamed for our situation as it is, where does this economic and social system come from? It comes from the mind of man. It comes from our own tendencies. Capitalism is just a way of organization of the economy. What does it say? It says that private individuals will have the right to function economically as they please, and that they'll have the freedom to earn profits, and supply and demand will determine the market prices, right? And government would not interfere in such matters. Now, you are giving somebody the right to do economic activity as per his choice. Per se, how can this be blamed for the mess we are in? Let's say you give the right of production and the right of ownership of capital and resources to some other entity, like the government, which we think of as an alternate system, right? You give the ownership of resources not to private entities but to the collective entity called government. Will that really change things? Because if the mind of the human being is corrupted, then so will be the mind of the government, no? I am someone who has been given the right to operate freely and produce and sell as I please. What will I produce? How will I sell? How will I entice my prospective consumer to buy? That depends on the direction of my mind and the center I am operating from. If the center I am operating from is itself animalistic, then I'll want to earn profits for myself, whatever be the social cost. I'll say I might be selling something very useless and also quite dangerous. And if I have to manipulate the customer's mind to get my thing sold, I'll do that. You let the government have control of goods and services, and the corrupt mind is found there as well. There the corrupt mind will manifest itself in some other form. We know the kind of corruption that prevailed in the erstwhile USSR. We know what went behind the Iron Curtain. We know why economic activity had to collapse and why the collapse of economic activity was one of the reasons behind the disintegration of that country. So if we are rotten from within, that rottenness will show up irrespective of the economic system, philosophical system, political system, social system we choose for ourselves. No system will have the power to redeem us because we are the fathers of all our systems. Systems come from us. We don't come from our systems. So the point, the systems come from, the source, that has to be cleansed. But that involves something very challenging. That involves challenging the very ego of the human being. And all that we see around ourselves is nothing but the game of the ego. The fundamental existential self. The game is on for the sustenance, the furtherance, and the protection of the ego. The ego will not want the game to shape up in a way that challenges the player itself, that challenges the existence of the player itself. The game exists for the pleasure of the player. The player is the ego. But if you want to play the game in a way that the player runs the risk of annihilation, then the player refuses to play the game. But that is what we need today. Otherwise, all that we are staring at is massive destruction of the kind we have never historically witnessed. Right? So it's not about a debate between philosophies. It's not capitalism versus socialism. It's not any ism versus any other ism. It's fundamentally about self-knowledge. Do we know who we are? Once we realize who we are, our trust on the products of our thought will reduce. And then we will be a little cautious of seeking solutions in systems of thought. You can come up with newer and newer systems of thought, place your faith in them, and hope that the new system, the seemingly innovative system, will redeem you. Unfortunately, it won't, because of the simple reason that we are reiterating. It is all coming from the same center. It is all coming from the same place. So a new system may offer a glimpse of redemption. It may entertain us and make us optimistic for a while, but these are all false beginnings. They offer a promise that does not last. The change that we need is inward. And it sounds cliched, I know it's been repeated so many times. It's been repeated so many times, but it has never been executed. So let's not just dismiss it as another cliche. We need an education system in which the child is very clearly, openly, rather ruthlessly helped to face her animalistic, prakritic nature. When we realize that our fundamental tendencies are all very gross, very primitive, and therefore we are not to place our deepest confidence on ourselves, then we'll develop a certain humility and try to look for solutions beyond what our animalistic tendencies and subsequent thoughts propose to us. Without that, I don't really see a solution. All that we think of as solutions are nothing but extensions of systems that are already prevalent in the jungle. It's just that we have the added power of intellect as a privileged species. So the same things that operate in the jungle get ornamented with intellect and operate in our cities and countries. That does not make them any fundamentally different from what we see out there in the jungle. And if we want really something that is subtle, nuanced, sophisticated, sublime, then we'll have to look at another source within us that will give rise to something else. Operating from the same source, we cannot get a different output, a different result.
Thank you, Acharya ji.